So, today we're going to go ahead with The Way of the Superior Man. We're going to finish up with this summary, and I've also looked up two other summaries that I'm really willing to go through since this one was a bit short, and I do hope that in the other ones I'm going to find some things, some insights, some ideas essentially as well that I wasn't able to find in this one. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead with this highlighted part. Yeah. Few men are willing to give their deepest genius, their true endowments, the poetry of their very being, with every thrust of sex and life. Most men are limbed with doubts and uncertainties, or they hold back their true drive because of fear. So they diddle their women and the world just enough to extract the pleasure and comfort they need to assuage their nagging sense of falsity and incompleteness. The other way is to fuck both to smithereens, to ravish them with your love unsheathed, to give your true gifts despite the constant tussle of women and world, to smelt your authentic gifts in this friction of opposition and surrender, to thrust love from the freedom of your deep being, even as your body and mind die blissfully through a crucifixion or fixation of inevitable pleasure and pain, attraction and repulsion, gain and loss. No gifts left ungiven, no limit to the depth of being, only openness, freedom, and love as the legacy of your intercourse with woman and world. About once a week, you should sit down with your closest friends, man friends, and discuss what you're doing in your life and what you're afraid of doing. The conversation should be short and simple. You should state where you are at. Then your friend should give you a behavioral experiment, something you can do that will reveal something to you or grant more freedom in your life. Good friends should not tolerate mediocrity in one another. If you're at your edge, your man friend should respect that but not let you off the hook. They should honor your fears and in love continue to goad you beyond them without pushing you. Choose men friends who themselves are living at their edge, facing their fears and living just beyond them. Men of this kind can love you without protecting you from the necessary confrontation with reality that your life involves, and that's so important. Because of course, we all can live in a world that, in a world that is actually not existent. We all can be delusional. We all can, have expectations that don't make any sense. We all can have beliefs that don't make any sense, and so on and so on. I mean, in the end, it's definitely the case. In the end, we have to confront certain things. In the end, there is going to just be some things that we shouldn't be pushing away, that we should keep in mind, that we should act on right now. Because maybe, of course, you probably should have done it earlier. But, dragging it and just waiting for it even longer until you do something, until you take action, until you, gain control over your life or whatever, you shouldn't do so. You should do it right now. Probably because, as I said, you should have done it yesterday or the day before, or the day before, or the day before. The superior man is not seeking for fulfillment through work and women, because he is already full. For him, work and intimacy are opportunities to give his gifts and be vanished in the bliss of the giving. Which, by the way, I think is a pretty interesting thought and a pretty fulfilling and empowering thought. Because if you think about it in that way, then you are already accomplished, quite. And by working and having intercourse with women or just dealing with women or whatnot, or actually also with other people in general, I would consider and say, it is just an act of giving. It's just an act of giving and trying to provide other people, the people around you, with something amazing. Also, or especially considering work, then it's amazing. Wouldn't we all like to do something that helps other people in some or the other way, and always just appreciated by other people, or just such a big part of their life that they couldn't live without it, not not necessarily, well, not living without something is a bit overdone maybe, but their life wouldn't be as easy or as good or as great or as whatever without this product, without your work, without this service, without whatever you're doing. Each purpose, each mission is meant to be fully lived to the point where it becomes empty, boring, and useless. Then it should be discarded. This is a sign of growth, but you may mistake it for a sign of failure. Yeah. I do think that we often kind of, misjudge or think that something is a failure, even though considering it, viewing it in a different light might reveal that it is actually not really a failure. It is actually something good, something amazing. That it is all about perspective, it is all about concepts, it's all about your mind in the end, which is something that I've realized, relatively recently, I would say. But yeah. Whereas many women waste precious time swirling in emotional currents and eddies, which by the way is also done by men, many men waste their birth seeking the completion of tasks, nose to the grindstone, day after day, year after year, and you become a robot of duty. Rather raise your eyes, see to the horizon, and do your tasks in the spirit of sweeping out your house on a sunny day. I'm willing to repeat this. Men waste their birth seeking the completion of tasks. The completion of tasks. Nose to the grindstone, day after day, year after year, and you become a robot of duty. Rather, raise your eyes, see the horizon, and do your tasks in the spirit of sweeping out your house on a summer day. Which reminds me of the concept of productivity versus, what is being productive, productivity versus busyness. Of course, we all can keep ourselves busy, but is whatever we're doing sensical? Does it mean anything? Is it something good? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we all can do just a bunch of different things each and every day, but in the end, they might just not be sensical. They might just be keeping you busy. It's not productive work. Of course, it also depends on what you define as productive and what productivity per se is for you. But yeah, don't keep yourself busy. Don't be busy. Don't complete tasks. Make something that's worthwhile. Make something great. The masculine grows by challenge, but the feminine grows by praise. A man must be unabashed and expressed in his appreciation for his woman. Praise her freely. Praise motivates. Challenge doesn't. Try it. Praise specific things you love about your woman 5 to 10 times a day and find out what happens. By the way, do it with everyone. You all like to be praised, especially in front of other people, by the way. Instead of tolerating your woman's moods of closure and complaint, open her moods with your skillful loving. It is your gift to give. Both of you will grow more by your giving than by your tolerating. A superior man sees his woman's mood not as a curse, but as a challenge and an amusement. There are many ways to creatively deal with her mood and help her to open. Tickle her, take off your clothes and dance the watusi, whatever this is. Sing opera for her, make animal sounds, shout at her louder than you ever have, and then kiss her passionately. I don't think that this is a good idea, but press your belly into her until she melts. Lift her off the ground and spin her around. Occasionally, talking with her helps, but not as often as humor and physically expressed love. I mean, this is a generalization. I just in general don't like generalizations, but I do want to say that showing and doing makes more sense than talking without doing. Yeah, the next one. The amazing thing is this: 90% of women's emotional problems stem from feeling unloved. So don't stand back and analyze her like a doctor diagnosing a patient or like a therapist questioning a client. Give her your love, the same love that is motivating your questioning, immediately and unmistakably. Walk over to her and look deeply into her eyes. Hold her and stroke her. Tell her how much you love her. Smile, hum her favorite song, and dance with her, and chances are her emotional problem will evaporate. She may still have some situation to deal with, and you may be able to help her with that, but the emotional aspect will be converted to love. It's actually longer than I expected it to be, but I'm still willing to go through the other things since I, as I said in the beginning, think that, since, this is relatively short, I am quote-unquote feared that there's a lot of things that I am missing out of, or missing out on. Anyway, getting to do anything they want is exactly the opposite of most women's ideas of an ideal birthday present. Most women would get far more excited if you were to say, "You've got 30 minutes to pack your bags. Don't ask me where we are going, but we'll gone for the weekend. We'll be gone. Everything is taken care of. Just pack your bags and leave the rest to me. I'm going to give you the best birthday you've ever had." This is an amazing idea, by the way. This really is. When was the last time you really ravished your women? That is, well, by the way, ravished, as I've been discovering in the past episode, is actually translated as raping by me looking up. But the thing is, it is not raping, because in the very first parts of the summary per se, the author said that, there is a difference between raping and ravishment, or ravishing somebody. Just to point it out. That is, when was the last time you really took her savagely, lovingly, with no inhibition whatsoever? Or has it been so long that you are fascinated and even turned on by rape scenes on TV or in the movies? Well, I hope so. Oh, I hope not. Not so. The difference between rape and ravishment is love. One part of your woman is happy she made you come. She's happy you're relaxed and enjoying yourself. Another part of her is disappointed that you've allowed yourself to choose a temporary and pleasurable spasm over the endless ravishment of her and the world. A non-ejaculatory orgasm, which is a subsection of the whole summary. The first step is undoing the habits you learned while masturbating as a teenager. Instead of tensing your muscles as you become sexually stimulated, which is incredibly important, by the way, as I've been thinking about it as well, learn to relax them. When you notice your face squinching up, relax it. When you notice your breath getting fast and shallow, slow it down and deepen it. When you notice your belly tight and your chest hard, open your belly and soften the area around your heart. The next step is to redirect your attention. Learn to feel your partner more than your own sensations during sex. Rather than curling attention into yourself and feeling the pleasures moving in your own body, feel outward, into and through your partner. Feel your partner more than you feel yourself. Feel her movement, her moans, and her internal energy. By the way, in terms of the tension that one, while masturbating, is creating, I don't know if it is the prostate, I think. Might be, I don't know. But if you're so tight in this area, then you're not going to last as long as just being relaxed. The problem is, this is just a habit. And of course, if you're doing so, masturbating is not going to take that long, which might be kind of the goal. Being as fast as it possibly can be. Obviously, and of course, and whatnot. But on the other hand, if you're then having sex, it's not that of a nice thing, to just be as quickly as you possibly can be. Even though I do personally have also experienced it just taking too long and then being quite boring. Maybe this was due to certain other factors, of course, might be the case. But yeah, anyway, this was the summary. But as I said, I'm willing to go through two other ones. This is a relatively short one by the whatyouwilllearn.com, I guess, site. And the next one is a bit more detailed, but I'm gonna see. The Way of the Superior Man by David Deida, which was rated by Ashto 5 out of 10 and by Jonassy 7 out of 10. Let's see. The Way of the Superior Man, a spiritual guide to mastering the challenges of women, work, and sexual desire by David Deida. The Way of the Superior Man was certainly an interesting read. The contention of the book is that everyone is made up of both masculine and feminine qualities, but most of us learn towards one more than the other. This is a book for the masculine person, be that male or female, gay or straight, It takes us through how to become a superior man and how the masculine should act and guide their more feminine partner. We don't agree with everything, but there is a lot of truth in this book, sometimes some uncomfortable truth. Our favorite chapter was chapter 46, a chocolate up the spine. Let your imagination run wild with that one, then listen to find out what the author actually meant. Grab yourself a copy, and there is a link, but this is not important. General Polarity, etc. Part 1, A Man's Way. Stop hoping for completion of anything in life. Creative challenge is to tussle, play, and make love with the present moment. Do what you love to do, what you are waiting to do, what you have been born to do now. Not tomorrow, not the next year, not when things are, becoming more easy or something. Do it now. Purpose must come before relationship. If you don't know your purpose, discover it now. Without a conscious life purpose, a man is totally lost, drifting and adapting to events rather than creating events, perhaps becoming sexually impotent or prone to mechanical disinterested sex. The superior man is not seeking fulfillment through work and woman because he is already full. Work and intimacy are opportunities to give. Be willing to change everything in your life. A man must be prepared to give 100% to this purpose, fulfill his karma and dissolve it. Ability to enter the unknown for a new purpose to emerge, these cycles of strong specific action to not knowing what the hell is going on are natural for man. As you open yourself to living on the edge, your deep purpose will make itself known. In the meantime, you will experience layer of purpose, getting closer to your deepest purpose. Your life consists of penetrating each circle from outside towards the center. Fulfill one purpose in a way to another. When jumping into the unknown, be open to what is next. When the impulse begins to arise for the next purpose, act on it. Part 2, Dealing with Women. 90% of women, according to the book, women's emotional problems stem from feeling unloved. Don't force the feminine to make decisions. Part 3, Working with Polarity and Energy. Your attraction to feminine is inevitable. Choose a woman who is complementary opposite. Is your complementary opposite, which makes sense, I would say. But on the other hand, I also have a feeling and have a thought that maybe by being so, essentially different than you are, isn't it gonna be a problem? Isn't it gonna be, I don't want to say bad, but, of course he says complementary opposite, which is something good. Anyway, I think you know what I mean. Like, it's still the opposite though. Of course, when you're angry and just getting somebody that is just really not angry and able to communicate in anger way better than you do, for example, maybe makes sense. It's kind of a good basis, at least in theory, for a good relationship. But yeah. Part 4, What Women Want. Choose a woman who wants you. If a man wants a woman who doesn't want him, he cannot win. His neediness will undermine any possible relationship, and his woman will never trust him. Once she feels your neediness, she feels that you need her more than she needs you, so she won't trust your masculine core. She doesn't really want to be number one. A woman seems to wants to be the most important thing in her man's life. However, if she is the most important thing, obviously his purpose is not. I don't know. It kind of also goes into okay, it is fine to flirt with other people or other women, therefore, and it is fine to make her, feel jealous and whatnot, which I've, up to this point, I'm not quite sure whether this is a good idea, whether this makes sense. It, obviously depends on the person that you're with, but it kind of feels, I don't know, it feels too macho for me. It feels too, it's not pretty kind, isn't it? But on the other hand, does this just underline me not being as masculine as I could, quote unquote, be, or should, quote unquote, be? I don't know, this could also be the case. Part 5, Your Dark Side. You're always searching for freedom. Masculine is always seeking release in one way. All masculine goals, work, meditation, cushion, or in football, feel directed towards freedom. When ejaculated, he has finally achieved in the post-ejaculative emptiness. The blissful freedom from stress has gone away. She, however, is hoping to experience love and fullness through sex. A snoring man doesn't do it for her. Well, obviously. She wants to kill in you. She wants you to be capable of killing. Today we have a large population of wimpy men and polite women, but beneath the veneer of most women is a wrathful goddess who will chop the head of a new age man. Well, it kind of reminds me of something that Jordan Peterson says, relatively often compared to other things, that one can be a monster. But the interesting part is that we often choose not to be one, which is amazing if you think about it. Anyway, part 6, turn your lust into gifts. Rather than get horny, learn to circulate that energy and use it. A superior man circulates arousal, taking care not to stagnate in sworn fantasies. In part 7, body practices. Ejaculate up the spine. Contract the pelvic floor near the genitals and drawing energy up the spine. Sex has become a road to ejaculation. Don't go early. Make your belly tight and chest hard. Open your belly and soften around your heart. What? Make your belly tight and chest hard. Open your belly and soften around your heart. You will be able to go for as long as you want. Well, click on this link to see if this book made it to your or our top 50. Well, the problem is there is no link. No, there isn't. Anyway, I'm gonna end the episode there. I hope that I've been able to share some things of importance, and I'm gonna see you the next time as always. So, bye-bye.